Yeah, I forgot to tell y'all this. And as you can see, I didn't do anything with my faces yet. I just had an inspection. They came to spray the house so you wouldn't have no bugs or whatever, any little creepy crawly stuff. They do that ever so often. But yeah, I forgot to tell y'all this. And I also got this from one of the doctors on YouTube yesterday, especially elders. Well, I guess this is for anybody. You shouldn't store your bread in the refrigerator. It loses its freshness and all that kind of stuff. You should put it in a bread box, or you can store it in a microwave or something like that. But don't put it in the refrigerator. And that's something that I've always been doing. Putting my bread in the refrigerator thinking that it'll keep it fresh and it'll last longer. Well, he's saying no, no, it loses everything. So you shouldn't put bread, no kind of bread in the refrigerator. Also, you shouldn't put potatoes, potatoes and onions and green peppers. You shouldn't put it's certain things that you shouldn't. Well, his thing was saying 9 things, but I just pulled out the ones that I usually put in the refrigerator. You shouldn't put potatoes in a refrigerator. They have some kind of ingredient in it that can make you sick when it go into the cold. So you should store them outside in an area where there's no like coal and nothing like that, in a cool, like in a corner or something. And onions also has something in there that can make you sick also if you put them in the refrigerator. He said, if allegedly, if well, once you cut the onion, you have the onion, you cut it, you can store it in one of those little Ziploc bags. If you're going to put it in the refrigerator, in the freezer, you can freeze it also. But don't just let it sit down in the fridge like open. No, you don't put it in the freezer. What am I saying? You take it and you put it in a Ziploc bag, excuse me. You can also put it in a brown bag and you just store it like outside. But don't put it in the refrigerator. You can get sick. And peppers are fruits, so you should store them on the outside, but use them as quickly as you can because they will spoil. And I think y'all already know this. Um, Avocados, if you put them in the refrigerator, they turn black. You know, so if you're gonna use a avocado, you cut it and um, well, my sister, the one that's still alive, she's a chef. She had told me to save it, to keep it to last long. You take an onion, not an onion, you take a lemon, you slice it, you take a piece of the lemon and you squeeze it over the avocado and it will last longer. But you still have to eat it. Don't let it stay there for a long period of time because it's gonna spoil. And there's some other stuff that you shouldn't store in the refrigerator, but he didn't say what they were, but you just Google it, I guess. Cause I will be, cause all the time I was thinking that my bread was gonna last longer by putting it in the refrigerator and stuff like that. But now I'm hearing that no, I'm not putting my bread in there anymore. And yeah. So, like I said, watch YouTube. They have a lot of nutritional facts on there. They have a lot of health stuff on there. And they have a lot of doctors that tell you all sorts of different, that give you all sorts of good advice and stuff like that. So, just watch YouTube. Peace out. I'm going to go groom myself right now because this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? I'm still here with this stuff on my face, looking all ugly. I'm just going to go wash it off and get myself together. So, peace out.